Hello friends, today we shall discuss the method of RTFO, rolling thin film oven test on a bituminous binder. And this test is conducted to measure the effect of heat and air on a moving film of semi-solid asphaltic materials. And this effect of heat and air can be measured in terms of different parameters. It can be viscosity, it can be penetration, it can be ductility. And it is also used to determine the loss on heating, that is loss in mass, reduction or increase in the mass of the bituminous binder after heating. This test method is covered in ASTM D2872, that is rolling thin film oven test. And in this test, a moving film of asphaltic material is heated in an oven at for 85 minutes at a temperature of 163 degrees centigrade. And then we measure the effect of this heat and air on the physical properties of the binder. This test simulates aging of the binder during conventional hot mixing at about 150 degrees centigrade as indicated by the viscosity or other rheological properties. It gives the residue, and this residue can be used to determine the property of the binder. The apparatus required for this test is an oven. Oven is a double-walled electrically heated convection type oven. Its door has a window made of two sheets of heat-resistant glass separated by an air space, and this window is to have the clear view of the interior of the oven. This oven is vented at top and at the bottom. This bottom vent supplies the air around this heating element here, and similarly the top vent also supplies the air to the sample face. There is a fan here, fan motor here, and at the top of this oven, sometimes it is at the top of the oven, sometimes it is inside, which runs at 1725 RPM. The fan and heater will be on only when the oven door is closed. The oven has a thermoset to maintain the air temperature at 163 degrees centigrade, a thermometer that can be hung either through ceiling or it can be put in the clip. You have a vertical carriage here, and this carriage can hold through clips firmly 8 glass containers in horizontal position. Here is an air jet to blow heated air into each bottle at its lowest point of travel, and the airflow is of the order of 4000 ml per minute, and it can be controlled by a flow meter. Then sample bottles or containers made of transparent and heat resistant glass, generally 140 millimeter long, 64 millimeter outer diameter, and that is how it rotates. And then you need a cooling rack made of wire or steel to keep the containers in horizontal position for cooling. This oven is preheated for about 4 hours before the start of the test. So sample as received from the site is kept in the oven at 150 degrees centigrade till it is completely fluid. Then they take it out from the oven and manually stir the sample, taking care that no air is entrapped. Then take the weight of the empty glass container and then pour 35 grams of the sample in each glass container. The number of containers will depend upon the amount of sample required for test on residue. If it is only for loss in weight, then only 2 containers are sufficient. And if you need to find out the rheological property of the residue, then you need more sample. You can have the sample in the all 8 glass containers. Then immediately after pouring the sample, turn the container into a horizontal position. Rotate the container slowly for at least one full rotation to pre-coat its surface. But make sure that the sample does not flow out of the container during this step. Place the container in the horizontal position in the cooling rack at room temperature. Now keep these containers into the cooling rack for 60 to 180 minutes, minimum 60 and maximum 180 minutes for cooling to room temperature. After cooling, take the weight of each glass container using the analytical balance with the accuracy of 0.001 grams. Now set the oven at test temperature and set the airflow at 4000 ml per minute. Arrange these containers in the carriage so that the carriage is balanced. Any empty space should be filled with unused container. Means all holes of this carriage should be filled. Now you close after you put all the containers in the holes, you close the door and rotate the carriage assembly at 15 RPM and maintain the sample in the oven with the air flowing and the carriage rotating for the conditioning time duration. And this conditioning time duration is 85 minutes to 92 minutes depending upon the elevation of the laboratory. What ASTM suggests that for a elevation of 304 meter means 1000 feet, the time of test is 85 minutes. And as the elevation increases, this time also increases. For every 1000 feet increase in the elevation of the test lab, the time is increased by 1 minute. So at 8000 feet, the time will be 92 minutes. If the test is being conducted for loss in mass, due to heating, remove the container after the testing time and place them in the cooling rack in horizontal position for again 60 to 180 minutes till they cool to the room temperature. And then determine the mass of the container. Mass of the container to the accuracy of 0.001 gram. Use analytical balance. If the test is done for further test on residue, then you need larger sample, and in that case remove the container one by one and transfer its content in a bigger container. Some residue will flow automatically and remaining is to be scrapped as much as possible. And carry out all tests required, whether it is viscosity or penetration or ductility, within 72 hours of the test. That is how you do the test. Now if it is the test conducted for loss in mass, then loss in mass is calculated. Mass change is B minus A upon A minus C into 100 plus F. Here A is the mass of binder plus container. Before conditioning. Before conditioning means before testing. And B is the mass of container plus binder after testing. And after conditioning, and C is the mass of empty container. Now F is a factor. F is a factor which is called mass change correction factor. And this factor depends upon the time of conditioning. If the time of conditioning is 85 minutes, this F is 0. Means it will depend upon the elevation of the lab above mean sea level. If the elevation of the lab is 304 meter, means 1000 feet, then there is no correction required. But if it is 86 minutes, then this correction is plus 0.006. For every 1 minute increase in the conditioning time, this correction factor increases by 0.006. And therefore, for 92 minutes, means if the elevation of the lab is 8000 feet, the time of conditioning will be 92 minutes, and this factor will be plus 0.042. And now you can report this change in the mass up to the accuracy of 0.001%. A loss in mass is reported as a negative and gain in mass is reported as the positive. Now this test can result either in loss of mass or it can be in gain in mass. The loss in mass is because of volatile component which evaporate, causing a decrease in the mass, whereas oxygen reacts with the sample, causing an increase in the mass. The combined effect determines whether the sample has an overall mass gain or an overall mass loss. Samples with a very low percentage of volatile component usually exhibit a mass gain, while sample with high percentage of volatile component usually exhibit a mass loss. So that is how this test is conducted. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any question, you can write.